Hey, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. Let me know if you're a young Dolph fan. Let's get right into it, man. So look, now that you got the questioning going on between Jook and, CMG, the thing is that why is Jook always in these pictures and that he's seen with the dude that just got caught, the third guy, Lotto Cash Desto's dad? Like, they're in these pictures together, and so that means they hang out together. So now they're going to be looking into this even more, and basically, there's more questions being answered about the whole Dolph incident, the whole situation at the cookie shop. And y'all got to just remember the fact that that gas station wasn't even the same day, the yellow shirt and all that. And it's like, okay, so where is this dude? Where is Lotto Cash Desto's dad in this footage that they got? Like, because was he at the cookie shop? Was he one of the people inside? And so it's just really interesting to figure out like how and why they came about getting that dude for the whole Young Dolph situation and everything. And like everybody's thinking now that he's definitely gonna tell on CMG. He might even tell on Black Youngster, Yo Gotti, Moneybagg, Yo. You never know, man, because once they got somebody and they got that spotlight in them, they're in that interrogation room, they're quick to break, man. They offer him a KFC $5 box in exchange for them telling the entire testimony on the entire CMG. And most of the time, the people take it because that's how Cornelius and them straight dropping them when they first got them dudes. They told so quickly that it was like, okay, they immediately had two other people to go after right away. That's how they figured out that when they released Shondell and they captured the dude he told on, that dude told back on Shondell, but they already released him. So they had to literally find him and still they looking for him. So that's one mistake that they made. But another thing is the fact that, yeah, once they get that pressure put on them and they're looking at all these years and all these fines and this and that, like what they could be facing and the trouble that they could be in, they're going to be like, okay, it ain't worth that. And so they basically at that point, they're not about the life no more because they now are just told and everything that they did up until that point was really just for nothing. Like it was pointless because if they're going to go through all that trouble and all that risk to end up getting caught anyways and get in trouble anyways, and they still tell. So it's like, why even do that in the first place? Like, why even go through the lengths of trying to do this? And you could really tell maybe their bread must have ran out now. Like whatever they got paid for that whole entire situation, anything related to the Dolph, like if they even got paid for that for a hit or setup or whatever, like that money's run dry by now because it's a year later. And so they probably don't have the same resources where they could hide and rent a place under this name and that name and be like hiding with baby mamas and girlfriends and just all sorts of just sketchy situations that they had to put themselves through just to get a little bit of cash. And then at the end of the day, it's like nobody's going to like them because of the fact that they took out somebody that was known as the King of Memphis. Like everybody, all y'all Dolph fans out there, it's like we all knew that he was pretty much the one that was going to bring like the trenches in the Memphis with him because of the fact that he was teaching, Dolph was really teaching people how to do the real estate, get houses. He was teaching the artists how to do it on their own. Like the fact that, Yo Gotti got mad about the whole situation with his baby mama, like that's what really set this whole thing off, man. Because if you guys really understand about it, man, it was a point where Dolph and Yo Gotti performed together, but the minute that Yo Gotti met Dolph, he was quick, thirsty to try to sign him. He really wanted to rip him off because Yo Gotti was mad that his own artist wasn't doing good. They didn't have no buzz. They didn't have that work ethic that Dolph had. They weren't self-made. The fact that Dolph was self-made, Yo Gotti wanted that because he thought it was an easy way to a check where he could just get the percentages off of Dolph, da-da-da, and just Dolph would do all the work because he already had his own team. But so Dolph was a boss, so he's a boss. He already knew what the game was like. He already knew the path he was on. He didn't need Yo Gotti. And matter of fact, Yo Gotti was so quick to throw shade on his artist that Dolph didn't even like that. And that's what made him not even want to sign with Gotti. He immediately declined the offer, even if whatever amount it was. He said absolutely not because of the way that he was treating his artist and that he wants to do nothing with him, especially when it comes to bigger business. And Yo Gotti will go to act like that eventually, right? And so that was a good move on Dolph's part because he made millions and millions of dollars, like even almost hundreds of millions, allegedly over, because a lot of people are saying that he was able to take the money he did from making it, doing it on his own, and then hitting the albums and all that. And then he would flip that bread into properties and just keep going, remodel, flipping, getting mansions and all that. So that way he actually had like a big thing that he could pass down to people, or he could cash out at any moment. But it made it to where he was doing it the right way. And now they just got more jealous and jealous in Memphis, man. Because if you really understand, Memphis is a small city. So like when Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo and them, when CMG and Black Youngster and them, and they see Dolph shining in the Rolls Royce, doing his own thing, still didn't have to like pretty much he didn't have to sign to Gotti or nothing, but they all had to sign to Gotti, and they don't even got close to anything. Matter of fact, it's like the fact that I think Dolph even said when Dolph signed his artist Key Glock that Key Glock got more money than what the CMG's boss had. And so that was a really good way to look at it, because of the fact that now Dolph had actually got some people up. But you know, Key Glock at that time, before that, he was friends with Straight Drop. Like, that's crazy. He was even friends with the people who had something to do with it. And so that's why a lot of people, you know, they couldn't leave that out. They had to like touch into that story and see, is there anything that connected? And then when they figured out that Key Glock used to be friends with Straight Drop and the whole Trula situation and all that, man, that was bad, because it was like confusing to know, was it a back door? Was it a setup from CMG? Was it the ops? Was it the own people? And so those questions were thrown up in the air, because it's just so much connections tied just from Memphis due to being a small like area. And even some of the people that's involved and got caught up on it was actually used to be in Dolph's videos, or hung out with Key Glock, or did this and did that. And so the whole thing is just an interesting situation, just due to the fact that everybody has ties with each other. And so when you look at it, was the back door? Was it the ops? Was it this and that? What you got to understand is that they already had the issues and the beefs with CMG before. Like, they already had the 100 shots happen. They already had the stuff happen in LA where Dolph got hit, and the first time he had to get out in the arm and all that. And so now it's like, okay, that time Black Youngster was a person of interest, and then the other time in LA, it was one of Gotti's homeboys that was riding with him. So it's always the same people, the usual suspects. So I wouldn't be surprised if they say that it's CMG again. And like after all of this, because all the people that they got is basically those like extra little pieces that maybe people from CMG, like they kind of use them because they kind of outside the circle, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But they all gonna tell, and basically they're gonna expose what's going on inside the CMG inner circle with Black Youngster, Moneybagg Yo, Yo Gotti. So like, you know, we're gonna wait for the details to come out. But right now they asking a lot of questions. A lot of things are up in the air. So we're gonna find out and get to the bottom of like everything that really happened to Dolph. So if y'all want to stay tuned, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment down below.